As we welcome you to historic Williams Arena on campus at the University of Minnesota. Big Ten basketball tonight from the barn as two longtime rivals meet again. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is sponsored by Hilton tonight, meeting 212 all time as Minnesota takes on number 19, Iowa. Alongside Sean Morris, I'm Corey Provis. Let's take a look at our starting lineup, sponsored by Hilton. And for the Hawkeyes, it begins with Bennett Sturtz. He's been fantastic. 9th in the Big Ten in scoring. He's 33-point shooting. He fills up the stat line. For Minnesota, Sean, last time out against Northwestern, Isaac Osima, Cade Tyson, Jalen Crocker-Johnson, 3 starters, all 3 played 40 minutes.
And the Golden Gophers in that ball game knocked down 22 of their 26 free throws. But you talked about Sturtz. For Iowa, a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio. That's why the ball is in hands the preponderance of the time. And Cade Tyson moves as well without the ball as anyone that you're going to see. Sturtz and Tyson, both elite scorers. They get their points in different ways.
Should be a great matchup tonight. 2 of the best players in the Big Ten on display at the barn, and we are underway. It's Iowa basketball as we start from Minneapolis. The Hawkeyes have won 3 straight games here at the barn. Minnesota did beat Iowa in Iowa City last year.
Shot clock did not start there.
So that will be adjusted. Our officials tonight, Keith Kimball, Brian Dorsey, and Mike Littlewood. Gophers have won 4 straight and a perfect 8-0 at home. There's Cale Combs. Tavion Banks. Off the back iron, bouncing around. No, tipped out into the hands of Tyson.
Watch the 5 jerseys in white, Corey, how they spread the floor. They just play 5 out, and if you're not communicating, you're in trouble. There's a big reason why.
And that's what Minnesota does so well. Cutting guy after guy. That was preached during shoot-around today from Ben McCullum, but that was Durkin with the catch and the first 2 tonight.
And this team has an assist rate of 77%, which is just astronomical.
Best in the country, assisting on, like you said, 76% of their made field goals. Here's Combs, has a good look. He'll fire and knock it down. This is 4th made 3 of the year.
Really well done by Iowa offensively. You get the defense moving, you get the ball going to the right side, then you kick it back to your left with Combs filling in behind.
Iowa shooting 38% from 3 as a team. Isaac Osima coming off a great game at Northwestern.
And that drive was made possible, to your point, Corey, because he came out shooting the ball very well from 3 against Northwestern, knocked down 4 triples. So you know Iowa recognized that if you don't close out under control, he can shot fake and get to the rim.
18 points, 9 rebounds. The win at Evanston on Saturday. Here's Sturtz, had it poked away by Osima, and Sturtz is going to be whistled for an early foul. Not even 2 minutes in. Now Nico Medved. His first year, the alum, Minnesota native, and already has a win here at home over a ranked team, knocking off Indiana back in December. Gophers 2-1 so far in league play. The Hawkeyes also 2-1. It's Cade Tyson, 2nd in the conference in scoring at around 22 per game. Shot clock down to 7. Osima crosses back, step back, and knocks it down. That's a deep 2.
Boy, the offensive confidence with which he has played since coming out of the gate against Northwestern has really been noticeable. Struggled shooting the ball from 3 for large parts of this year, but has started to pick it up recently, about 32%.
A rare returning player. When you isolate and look at these rosters for both teams, not many played with their respective schools last year. Osima is back for his sophomore season. Here's Sturtz, had it blocked. That was Reynolds. With good defense on the drive from Sturtz, 5-on-4. Reynolds off his knee, lost it out of bounds. It's Iowa basketball.
Osima with his 2nd basket. Remember, he got something going toward the rim. Here you put Sturtz kind of on skates and able to knock down that long two, but his offensive confidence really playing well. And that's the advantage if you're Reynolds of being a left-hander. That's his strong hand. A lot of times you'll see a guy on that side of the room try to block the basketball with his strong hand, usually the right hand, but Reynolds able to come over there and deflect it with his left.
I love the point that Raphael Davis made just before we started the game tonight. Raphael, of course, former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. When asked by Mike about defensively who you're looking at tonight, he mentioned Langston Reynolds. And foul. Oh, Ben McCullum. Over the years, Northwest Missouri State, Drake, now in Iowa, 82% winning percentage as a head coach, 12-2 start. Best for a Hawkeyes team since the 2020-21 season.
And Corey, maybe one of the most meticulous shoot-arounds I've attended in a long time. They talked about some of the most minute but important details, hand placement on the defensive end, defensive footwork. It was really intriguing.
Koch turns it over. And the whistle and a foul on Awesome.
Good job by Sturtz of kind of answering the defensive challenge, because I think Awesome sees a matchup he wants to take advantage. Sturtz rotates over. That's the right call. Now, folks at home may say, well, his feet weren't completely set. As long as you're in legal guarding distance and you're in front, that's the proper call.
Proctor Johnson picks up Sturtz. He wants it back from Koch. Looks for the bank screen. Sturtz against Tyson. Fadeaway shot. No. It's a good D that time. Tyson.
Really nice job by Tyson of walling up and forcing a difficult shot.
Awesome trailing for three.
Good blockout. Really well done by Davion Banks.
4 rebounds per game. Transfer from Drake. Davion Banks, 6'7" senior from Kansas City. And Proctor Johnson with a reach and a foul. That will take us to our first timeout. Early on here at the barn, meeting 212. We've got Goldie, we've got Big Ten basketball, Minnesota and Iowa at the barn.
Hey, Dad. That kind of looks like our car.
Wait a minute. It is our car.
Honey, we're good. That's why we chose Auto Owners. We worked with our agent to get the right coverage so that when the unexpected happens, we know we're covered.
Huh. That's superhuman sense.
Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners make sense for you. Looks like I'll be taking you to work tomorrow.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Time to make the sports.
Wake up to FS1's new daily sports talk show.
You can't beat us and you know it.
You want El Presidente, Big Cat, PFT, and T-Bob. Uncensored, unpredictable.
I feel like I'm losing my mind right now.
We're your guys.
Let's handle this like men.
Wake up Barstool, weekdays at 8 Eastern on FS1.
Let's go.
At some point, I'm going to die from this because I can't afford to get it done. I was unsure of how I was going to get my treatment. Then I found the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge. It was a home away from home. When those donations come through, we have a sense of, I can make it.
This holiday, be the reason hope makes it home. Your gift can help families like LA's stay close to care.
Welcome back to the barn. Early on here in Minneapolis, the Gophers have a 6-3 lead over 19th ranked Iowa. Courtside with Sean Morris, Corey Probus. You begin to break down this game tonight in terms of possessions. That's going to be a storyline worth following.
Well, it's not going to be a high-scoring ball game if the numbers bear out, especially when you consider the fact that Iowa only gives up about 60 points per ball game. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they're so stout on that defensive end of the floor, but that's how they want to play. And Minnesota, I think, once they get healthier, that pace is going to pick up a little bit. But they really don't have the ability to go much more than 7 deep, so you have to kind of manage your offensive personnel as well as you do your defensive personnel in a situation like that.
Now throw Fulgaris checks in for Iowa, number 7. He can light it up from 3 and miss inside, and Osimo rips it away. Isaiah Howard also on the floor for the Hawkeyes, number 23. Here's Reynolds.
Grayson Grove in the ball game, made a living against Northwestern. 6 of 6 on screen and rolls. All 6 of his hoops were dunks.
Brings some energy off the bench as well.
Good defense by Iowa. Well done.
There's a cut from Reynolds and lays it up and in.
I mean, just when it looks like you've done your job, if you turn your head and get out of your stance for a minute, Minnesota is going to back cut you.
Exactly that possession is what Ben McCollum, part of what he preached to his team today, is watch the action behind the ball. Banks missed it inside, and Tyson bring it up the floor for the Gophers. There's Reynolds again on the drive, and he's fouled.
This is the team that assists on 76% of their made field goals, and right there, Bennett Strook just got caught watching the basketball, and Reynolds made him pay. Good job by Tyson of not panicking in the situation. Turn, locate the defense, and then Reynolds is able to score with that strong left hand.
How about this early storyline? Iowa, Bennett Sturts has picked up his 2nd foul. He was in foul trouble a bit against UCLA. Despite that, Iowa had a great first half, went on to beat the Bruins 74-61 on Saturday, but Sturts 2 fouls early in this game.
And the guy at the foul line, Reynolds, has struggled from the foul line all year, came in shooting 50%, but he was 5 of 6 from the charity stripe against Northwestern. His team was 22 of 26 overall, and that's been an area of concern for Minnesota all year, Corey. 69% from the foul line. That's last in the Big Ten in that particular area.
Yeah, that's been a stat that has plagued the Gophers here for a long time. They're at the bottom, near the bottom as a team in free throw shooting percentage. And that was a key stat for Minnesota in the win at Evanston. Here's Howard spinning. Fulgaris will fire. Can't hit. There's the seal from Grove.
Really nice job by Grove of understanding angles and got his hip into his man and able to corral the rebound.
8-0 Minnesota run. Tyson add to it. Yes.
And Corey, his recognition, a lot of times guys will dribble themselves into trouble. Because Tyson was able to come off that curl and catch the ball under control, he took just one rhythm dribble rather than what a lot of other guys do, try to get closer to the rim and maybe dribble himself into trouble. But he was able to come under control on the ball reversal here. Now, a lot of guys would take that extra dribble. You see the rotating defender over and maybe dribble themselves into an offensive foul. But Tyson understands, here comes the rotation. I don't need to play their game. I'll play mine. Bottom of the well.
Now, Nico Medved chatting with him before the game earlier today as well when talking about Cade Tyson's game. Sometimes it may not be the 3. It may not be the layup at the rim. The best shot might be that mid-range J as you just deliver. So Minnesota off to a great start and a 12-3 lead. Hawkeyes calling a timeout. Iowa won its first 7 from the field. Iowa 12-2 overall, 2 losses, both coming on the road at Iowa State and Michigan State. They're undefeated against unranked teams. They're 12-0. Harris, guarded by Bobby Durkin. On the cut, here's Banks. Couldn't finish at the rim. And Osimo the rebound. Osimo up the floor to Grove.
Well, that was a beautiful pass. And Grove just didn't take his time for it because that was tailor-made in transition.
Isaac Osimo leads Minnesota in assists. Here's Howard. He'll fire for 3. Way off. Long rebound to Tate Sage. Another chance here for the Hawkeyes. And let's see.
Shot clock. We'll go back and take a look because that That did not hit the rim. So it should not have reset at all.
Howard missed badly on his three-point try.
And if you're on the Iowa sideline now, depending on how this next minute and change goes, Corey, as we take a look at the last shot hit the rim, is there a change of direction? But if you're Iowa, in this next minute and change, you have to start thinking about, okay, if, let's say, Minnesota reels off another quick 4 or 6 points before the next media timeout, do you have to make the decision and kind of roll the dice to bring Sturtz back into the ballgame before the thing kind of starts to get away from you here a little bit? So I'm sure that's one thing that they'll be talking about between now and the next media timeout, and then during that timeout. I didn't think it hit. I didn't see enough that led me to believe that the trajectory changed, but I was not a physics major.
No, there's still time.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think after the looks we've seen, I don't think that ball did clip the rim. In the meantime, for Iowa, while Sturtz is out with those 2 fouls, if you're Ben McCollum, offensively, where do you go? Where does the offense go, and who runs it?
After further review, 6 seconds on the shot clock, 13:07 on the game clock.
Yes, the shot clock will not reset, down to 6. Go ahead.
I think that you're going to try to maybe, get something going toward the rim with a dribble drive, and whether it's Tate or Howard, somebody just going toward the rim and kind of stem the tide. But I think the biggest challenge for Iowa right now has been their defensive transition. They've got to get back and get situated before Minnesota's able to get up and down the floor, and that's a good start.
On take there from Howard.
Yeah, someone had to attack the rim.
It's a drought of nearly 6 minutes, a scoring drought for the Hawkeyes. Minnesota's lead is 7. Holmes pokes it free, and Tyson will let it roll out of bounds.
And you know what? It might have been a little bit of a break for Iowa in this regard with that shot clock review. It kind of stemmed the tide. It kind of took a little bit of the air out because the momentum, and it still is with Minnesota, but it gave them a little bit of a chance to regroup here without burning the timeout.
5 to shoot for Tyson.
Nice job.
As Cam Mannion got a piece of that.
Now that's honoring the scouting report. They talked about that and coming off that curl and attacking the shooting pocket. Well done by Iowa defensively.
Scotch off the fake and on the floor, and he's fouled. And this is on Tyson. And that's his first.
And I think if Tyson doesn't reach in here, that could have been a walk. But the reach in bailed him out.
14 fouls on Minnesota. Iowa with 2, both on Sturtz. Sage at the elbow. On the baseline. And the short jumper falls for Cale Combs, averaging 6 points per game.
Good job of moving along the baseline. And how about the response here from Iowa? Again, I think that little lull in play was a blessing in disguise for the Hawkeyes.
Reynolds, Sand throws it away. So a timeout. It'll be Iowa basketball down 5. We come back to the Barn.
Whether you are running a complex manufacturing site, powering a city's changing energy and utility needs, or maintaining a large fleet of aircraft, IFS's advanced industrial AI orchestrates data and adds capabilities to your business so you can thrive and grow. IFS.ai, award-winning asset and service management software.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diane.
Hi, I just received my new Discover card. It says cash back on every purchase. What's cash back?
It's new. Buy what you need, earn a little extra back.
Even on walkie-talkies, rope, and a baseball bat?
You betcha.
10 to 15 pumpkins? That works.
Absolutely.
How about flowers?
What he meant to say was flamethrower.
A what?
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival, because you know there's value in making space for your people. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
It's a Wednesday night hoops doubleheader. Oh my goodness! Indiana takes on Maryland. Then, 5th-ranked Purdue welcomes Washington to Mackey. Coverage begins with the tip-off show, only on the Big Ten Network.
Here at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, we're getting more nutrients out of every crop to sustainably feed growing populations everywhere. And then there's this. Every dollar spent on agricultural research returns up to $40 to the Minnesota economy. Now that's really doing more with less. I'm Brian Boer, and I'm helping make the world healthier here, there, and everywhere.
11:41 to go first half here in Minneapolis, and the Gophers on top of number 19 Iowa. 12-7 is our score. Cool storyline here with both head coaches and their respective ties to their hometowns. Of course, Niko Medved, Minneapolis native, went to school at Minnesota. Ben McCollum, born in Iowa City, spent quite a bit of his childhood though at Storm Lake. And there's Ben with Doc and Tom and Niko when he was a student manager under Clem Haskins in the mid to late 90s. Dream job for Niko Medved, Ben McCollum. And the Hawkeyes off to a fantastic start, 12-2, ranked 19th in the country. And the shot falls from Isaiah Howard. So since that little shot clock disruption, it's been a surge here from the Hawkeyes. They've hit 3 of their last 3 from the field.
And 2 of those have been drives to the rim by Howard.
Gophers haven't scored in over 2.5 minutes. That doesn't change, and now Iowa a chance to tie it with a 3. Here's Howard in the paint, lost his footing, and the tip no underneath Mannion. Able to pull it back out.
Manuel's made his presence known with a block shot, and there with this offensive rebound and keeping another possession alive for Iowa.
8 to shoot for Combs.
They need a ball reversal here. It's been on the left side of the floor the entire time.
Here's Howard up top to tie it. No. And the rebound to Crocker Johnson. Concern that Niko Medved had in advance of the game tonight. Scoring droughts. Can't win this game if Minnesota has a couple of lengthy scoring droughts. It's over 3 minutes, and now it ends with Reynolds off the glass and in. He has 6.
And they just kind of work toward the rim in concentric circles there.
Steal that time from Reynolds. Transfer from Northern Colorado. Take Sage trying to find some space, not there.
Nice pass.
Howard, great look. You called it to Koch.
Boy, Howard has been a revelation for Iowa. He had that dribble drive that kind of broke the scoring seal and the drought that they had, attacked again, and then because he's been able to get in the lane and play off 2 feet, that provided the backdoor opportunity, giving Minnesota a little bit of a taste of their own medicine.
It's touched by Dirk in Iowa basketball.
When people talk about playing off 2 feet, this is what they mean. Boom. You can turn, locate, and then the proper and excellent use of the bounce pass. Create space, get the defense moving. Reynolds falls asleep. Dive to the rim, well done by Iowa, and they've been able to climb back in without their leading scorer. Bennett Sturchy's been saddled with 2 early fouls.
Isaiah Howard played a season-high 30 minutes in the win against UCLA on Saturday.
If he's playing like this, he's going to earn more playing time.
There's Sage. Wedged for a moment, and cleared out by Crocker Johnson. Johnson, these numbers improving his 3-point shooting, but off the mark there. 43% from 3 over his last 6 games. Now Cooper Koch, he'll lay it up and in, and the Hawkeyes are within 1.
But the response by Iowa has been impressive, and Koch understanding, coming off that, he kind of broke off. They thought he was going to come out and maybe catch it on the perimeter, but you're able to break it off and get to the rim, and you don't have to worry about an elite rim protector back there for Minnesota. They just don't have one right now defensively.
Bennett Sturtz, he's going to check back in here for the Hawkeyes. Next whistle, Tyson in trouble, and found a way to get it up and in. Averaging almost 36 minutes per game, the transfer from North Carolina, Cade Tyson. Came down to Iowa or Minnesota for Tyson entering this season. There's Howard, a little shimmy, now will drive, and what a good half it's been for Isaiah Howard.
He better get an extra orange slice at halftime, because he has been really good for them when they needed him most here in the first half.
And McCollum, before the season began, said of Howard that he brings a level of intensity that we just need around here. 8 to shoot for Crocker Johnson, tied up by Fulgaris for a moment. Now Reynolds down to 3. Durkin got it off. Trying to bank in that shot. And here comes Iowa.
Nice job by Iowa defensively, Corey. They walled off one side of the floor. Minnesota didn't have the chance to flip the floor. They executed that entire possession almost exclusively on the right-hand side.
Guys led at 1.32, and now they have the lead at 17-16, and Minnesota calls it timeout. So with Bennett Sturtz in foul trouble, getting some help off the bench. Sturtz looks like he's coming back in. Meanwhile, his teammates on a run. Iowa leads by 1.
Start the year off big at the Rams Start Something New sales event. With America's most powerful lineup of light-duty gas trucks, offering the legendary Hemi V8 and the largest touchscreen in its class, all backed by the strength of a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Get your year off to a strong start with a great deal at the Rams Start Something New sales event.
Cool, iPhone 17? I switched to T-Mobile.
You get 4 iPhone 17s on them.
Wait, who's taking the picture?
At T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 17s with their amazing cameras on us. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
Smile, it's an Elfie.
Joshua Walker, world's best backwards basketball shooter.
6 grams of protein, loaded with fiber. And they come in over 20 tasty flavors. Blue Diamond Almonds might be the world's best snack. I should know.
The world's greatest snack.
Going to see movies on a Friday night in the Quad Cities here, that was not just an experience to be entertained, but to be educated.
Watching people jump when it's scary and laugh together when it's funny. It's such a communal experience. You're going on a ride with 100 strangers, and we were just inspired to try to hopefully one day make movies that could take an audience on a ride as well.
I just look at filmmaking as it's only about telling stories and having a really fulfilling process and trying to bring that story to life.
Every project that we write, it starts with a spark. 1 or 2 good ideas, they just kind of stick around and we just keep talking about them and talking about them.
Even if there's an outward force saying, we don't want it, that's not a deterrent to us anymore. We're going to try, and sometimes you're going to try and it's going to fail.
It can be a business of rejection, especially when you're 2 kids from Iowa, so having a partner to build you up and keep you confident is so crucial. I'm Brian Woods.
I'm Scott Beck, and we're filmmakers
and University of Iowa graduates.
Welcome back. Tomorrow, a Wednesday night basketball doubleheader comes your way as Indiana takes on Maryland, followed by 5th-ranked Purdue against Washington. Coverage begins with a tip-off show at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Now the Hawkeyes have the lead, and Iowa began down 9. Foul trouble, Bennett Sturtz, but since he was out, his teammates have really picked him up.
Isaiah Howard, in particular, with 6 points off the bench. Cale Combs in the starting lineup with 7. But, you know, that graphic kind of coincides. If you go back, remember with that shot clock when they went over? And it kind of gave Iowa a mini timeout. Yeah. And it also a little bit to kind of quell the momentum that had clearly swung to the Gophers in the early going.
Some good minutes from Howard. He comes out. Sturtz back on the floor.
Good job of being there on the catch. Really well done defensively by Iowa.
Have not hit a 3 yet tonight. One of their last 7 overall from the field. Crocker Johnson over Fulgaris. Rounded out. Now Bennett Sturtz, 4 points, 0 of 3 from the field. His first visit to the barn. Maybe before the game, first time he's ever played on an elevated floor. Sage with 6. It'll be Koch up top, deep 3, and the friendly roll. Second made 3 for the Hawkeyes as a team tonight. Koch has 7. 7-0 Hawkeye run. Crocker Johnson in the paint.
A good read by Crocker Johnson. What I mean by that, Iowa thought he was going to use that little dribble handoff action. He faked it. They kind of went for it. He was able to turn the corner with that left hand.
Points for Crocker Johnson, averaging 13 per game. There's Combs. 4 to shoot. Sage on the drive, and that was blocked by Crocker Johnson, but could not keep it in play. Now, Crocker Johnson, Sean, he saw that shot coming. He timed it, but could not keep the ball on the floor.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most underrated players, in the Big Ten. Just not able to come down. Now, if you're Iowa, you've got time to catch, put the ball on the floor once. You don't have to use a tip situation with 1.3.
1.3 to shoot. It's Sturtz up top, off in time, and if that hit the rim, it did not, and a shot clock violation.
And that's a tough spot for Sturtz, where he just got into a ball game not too long ago and having to kind of hoist one up. Yeah, that clearly did not hit anyone. So look there.
Osama, he was hot early, stripped, lost it, out of bounds. It'll be Minnesota basketball.
And this is a situation Minnesota's looking to score. So if you're Iowa, you have to recognize that the trigger man, in this case Osama, he may get the ball in and then do a little duck in and kind of post up. Utilize a different action here. That's something to keep an eye on.
Reynolds against Banks, steps in and scores.
How about that little step through by Reynolds? A good finish with the off the right hand by Reynolds. Able to kind of beat the defender, had done a pretty good initial job of walling up, but he got lower and able to step through and finish with the offhand.
Game high 8 points for Langston Reynolds, and went for the steal, and Sturtz, no foul, so Reynolds on the run, dunks it down. And some energy inside the barn. Opened up in 1928, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Crocker Johnson, and that's going to be his second. Somewhat delayed. Crocker Johnson picks up his second foul.
Langston Reynolds followed up a good offensive sequence. Again, we talked about honoring the scouting report. They knew they wanted to reverse the basketball. Reynolds read it, came with the inside hand, and that's the result.
Minnesota already has 4 fast break points as Sturtz can't hit. And I say that because the Hawkeyes are allowing only 6 total per game, and Keith Kimball getting in there to break it up, jump ball. It'll be Minnesota basketball.
My man Isaiah Howard came in there again. I mean, look, if you're playing, you want a guy like that on your squad. He's scored 6 quick points, but he's given up some significant size, and he's like, hey, I'm as much entitled to this basketball as anybody else, and that could be an important play in a low-scoring ball game. Yes, Minnesota gets the possession, but remember, it flips. This could come down to literally a couple possessions, and they may have an opportunity to get an extra one because of his play there.
Stay with Minnesota. And 4:16 to go until halftime. And 4 lead changes already in this first half. Whistle inside, and a foul is called on the Hawkeyes. This will be on Combs. The 3rd team foul on the Hawkeyes. Boy, that's a dangerous pass. Yeah, fortunate that Minnesota retains it. Reynolds with the tip. It's Tyson. Boy, a scattered possession for Minnesota, but the ball in the hands of the right guy, Cade Tyson.
That was almost turned over twice.
And now Minnesota comes back with a 9-0 run. Turnover, Iowa. 5th Hawkeye turnover.
This is a team that Iowa that leads the conference in turnover margin at +5.
Forcing the opposition to around 15 turnovers per game.
Good rip.
Reynolds, baseline, couldn't finish.
I don't think he thought he was going to be that open on that rip. The weak side help just wasn't there.
Contact inside, offensive foul. It'll be on Banks. Osama took the contact, and we have a timeout here at the barn.
Well, Langston Reynolds off a steal gets the crowd here in the barn into it and answering a response from Iowa. This wasn't exactly how they drew it up. That was a couple of near turnovers, leads to a triple for the conference's second leading scorer.
Emmitt Smith is a legendary football and dancing star, but he also has Geico like a regular person. So we had one translate.
The whole routine was getting stale.
His last insurance company wasn't doing it for him.
So, this fox had to trot.
He switched to Geico.
Like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900.
Dollars. He saved over $900 by switching.
You're not Emmitt Smith, but we'll treat you like him. It feels good to get the start.
My mother told me.
Only uses premium toppings, which means your pizza isn't just flavorful, it's mushroom-full, or sausage-full, or pepperoni-full. And you can get unlimited medium one-topping pizzas from the place named America's favorite pizza chain starting at $8.99 every day, only at Marco's.
Lowe's knows tackling projects now means you can football Sunday.
Floors. He needs to up his ground game.
Well, we can measure it.
Measure?
Lowe's can measure and install it for you.
You can't measure passion, right, Jim? Stop trying to work the crew. This is Jim, one of the greats, and handsome.
Minnesota by 5, 3:09 to go until halftime. And during the timeout, folks at the concession stands, you get some snacks. You got some members of the barnyard eating some pizza. Speaking of snacks, this was pretty cool. Minnesota, after the win against Northwestern, something that Niko Medved started really at Furman, Colorado State. Now he's brought to Minnesota after road wins. Before the team finds the airport, they find a local convenience store. This was in Skokie, Illinois, Rams Marketplace, and everybody picks two snacks. Two snacks to
I do not limit myself to 2 snacks, and anybody that needs convenience store locations throughout Big Ten territory, I can help them.
I think with you, when it comes to snacks, everybody knows number 1, and that would be what you're drinking here tonight. Because Sean Morris and Diet Coke. Always.
The well-oiled machine, Corey. Well-oiled machine.
So is Cade Tyson's game.
Yes, he is.
It's a 12-0 run, and I'll whistle underneath and a foul on Minnesota. That'll be team foul number 6. And just to prove my point, that's what my man will have on him at all times. It could be 7 a.m., it could be 7 p.m., it could be whatever.
We all got big problems, Jerry.
Kai Shinholster checks in for Minnesota. Cade Tyson just picked up his second foul. So Tyson has 2, Crocker Johnson has 2. Next Minnesota foul puts the Hawkeyes at the free throw line.
Good job by Osama being there on the closeout.
Holmes, tough shot, no. Mannion tip, no. And then Grove pulls it away.
We talked about Howard, but even though statistically he hasn't really cracked the book, Mannion has given a nice lift off the bench with his effort on both ends, most recently trying to keep that possession alive.
That's the Hawkeyes back in a scoring drought. More than 4 minutes gone by without a point. And Howard with the foul on Reynolds. That's the first on Howard. Coming up, stay tuned. Mike Hall, Rayfel Davis standing by for the State Farm halftime report. Check in with Mike and Rayfel in a bit from our BTN studios in Chicago. I love Mike Hall's nickname for you. America's favorite human.
Is that Central America? I'm not sure, not here.
I think it is all the Americans.
All right.
All of them.
That's an election I would demand a recount for sure.
It's you for Reynolds. This is not really his game. Not a great three-point shooter.
Yeah, to your point, right around 22%. Doesn't take a whole lot of it.
Spin there from Combs and a better finish.
But Combs and Howard have been the offensive story for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And, you know, with leading scorer and playmaker Bennett Sturts has really been hampered by fouls throughout this first half. If you're Iowa, only being down 6 and withstanding a little double-digit run here from Minnesota, have to feel pretty good about where you are right now.
Combs averages 6 points per game. He has a team-high 9. Durkin, the three-point shot hasn't been there. League play so far for the Davidson transfer. He was 36% with Davidson. He's only 3 of 15 so far as a Gopher in conference play. Under a minute to play until halftime. There's Koch. Picks up the dribble. And now Howard left hand, left it short. And Reynolds will slow things down. Reynolds has had a great first half. Sets up Shitholster for 3.
Reynolds turns the corner, draws the defender. Shitholster is shot ready in the right corner. And Reynolds was a tremendous elite distributor last time out with 13 assists at Northwestern.
Howard shoots for 3. And Mania with the offensive rebound. 3 to play in the half. Sage underneath and the bucket will count. And there's the first half from the barn. And Minnesota with a 7-point lead at the break.
But a big play by Maniau to keep that possession alive, to get Iowa within 7. If he doesn't make that offensive rebound effort, Minnesota has a chance maybe to come down and extend their lead.
Gophers closed the half in a 15-2 run. Bennett Sturts did not score. Foul trouble plaguing the All-American in the first half. And the Gophers have a 7-point lead at the break. Stay tuned. The State Farm Halftime Show with Mike and Rayfel is coming up next from our Chicago studios here on BTN.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew. Oh no.
Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Now that's a great view.
Yep. You're looking at Carvana's newest and proudest customer. So proud that we're teaming up to create Shackvana.
We are? We are.
Shackvana will be 100% online so customers can shop from anywhere.
That's so Shackvana.
About time you caught up. On Shackvana.com, customers can shop tens of thousands of vehicles.
Love it.
And they'll get 7 days to love their ride or their money back. Visit Shackvana or Carvana and buy your car today.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
One zip.
So they're all on your team?
Yeah, they're my financial plan.
Huh?
Who Thrivent helps me plan my finances for. Like my church, the children's hospital, and my son's college fund. And we're redoing the basement.
Plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love with Thrivent. where money means more.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon, all by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items, making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
At DQ, we're all about and, like our new limited-time crispy onion cheeseburger $7 meal deal with crispy onions.
And a fry for me.
And here's your drink.
And a sundae.
Try our new crispy onion cheeseburger $7 meal deal right now at DQ.
Well, well, well. This is what you call predicting the future. Langston Reynolds, the steal, and the finish. Minnesota has a 7-point lead. This is the State Farm Halftime Report. I'm Mike Hall. This is Rafael Davis. And I say that because if you're watching our pregame show, I asked this man defensively who's going to step up in this game. Who should we keep an eye on to make big defensive plays? And you said?
Langston Reynolds. And Langston Reynolds has been big time. This is my type of game. I love defensive contests. And Langston Reynolds is putting on a master class on a defensive end. He has simply taken Bennett Sturts out of this ball game. And I know Bennett has 2 fouls, had to sit in that foul trouble, but when he was out there, Langston Reynolds cut his water off and he sent them back to that sideline. Big time defense, just connected on that end of the floor. And then you look at the offensive end for Minnesota, they're taking care of the basketball. They're taking good shots. They're doing the things that you have to do when you play an Iowa Hawkeye squad. Because you think about this, Iowa averages 20 points off of turnovers every night out on the defensive end. Right now, Minnesota, only 3 turnovers. Iowa, only 2 points off of those. They can't find ways to score in the half court without Bennett out there. Howard and Combs, they did their best to keep Iowa in this game. But Bennett Sturts, he's got to have a big-time second half. It's going to be tough against Langston Reynolds, though.
This is a weird and rare sentence to say, but for Iowa, their top 4 scorers have nothing.
Crazy.
In the first half. Outrageous statistic there, and Minnesota has the lead by 7 points. The next game that will tip off for the Big Ten about 10 minutes from now is UCLA taking on Wisconsin. We'll preview that one next.
Superstitions, Matt?
Hi, Carly. It's a good thing Discover makes it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on my rally cap.
Cash back on my favorite glove.
Cash back on my Lucky Shamrock.
Cash back on my game day chicken wings.
Cash back on my one cleat.
I even earned cash back on my lucky bobblehead.
You win. Next round's on me.
Earn cash back on every purchase with Discover, the official card of the Big Ten.
Waiting for the break of day. Wanting just to stay away.
Whether you are running a complex manufacturing site, powering a city's changing energy and utility needs, or maintaining a large fleet of aircraft, IFS's advanced industrial AI orchestrates data and adds capabilities to your business, so you can thrive and grow. IFS.ai, award-winning asset and service management software.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You don't just give an extra hand, you give your whole heart, because it feels good to raise up the community that raised you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, nonstop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. Whoa! More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
There are moments where you just pause and realize how lucky you are.
This is when championships are won.
The heart in this football team, I just can't say enough.
I think our team has a lot of confidence. You want them having confidence when you walk into games like this. It's going to be a challenge.
It ain't little old Indiana. This is who we are. This is our DNA.
This has been an unbelievable story to follow.
No, we're just so dedicated. We just love, being locked in.
This is a really good team that plays its best in the biggest moments like this.
They are focused on trying to win a national championship.
UCLA and Wisconsin, about 10 minutes from tipping off. Here's a look at the tail of the tape between these two. Both scored just a little more than 80 points per game. Of course, the Badgers hitting an awful lot more threes. They're one of the best in the Big Ten at making threes. This is a UCLA team that's sitting 10-4 on this season. Their last game was a game against the Hawkeyes, and they lost. What do the Bruins need to do against the Badgers?
They've got to get a lot tougher, especially on the glass, offensively and defensively. Coach Mick Cronin said something very interesting after the Bruins faced the Hawkeyes this weekend. He said, "We are unbelievably soft," and I agree with Coach Mick Cronin because you look at UCLA's front court, you look at Eric Daly Jr., Tyler Bilodeau, Xavier Booker. This should make up one of the better front courts, not just in the Big Ten, but in the country. But these dudes have been playing soft. They've got to be tougher on that glass. UCLA right now is one of the worst rebounding teams within the Big Ten, and it makes zero sense. I want to see those guys get on the glass against Wisconsin. They can live in the paint. Wisconsin is not the biggest team with their front court. UCLA should be able to have their way on the offensive glass. That's got to bring up some production to go along with Donovan Dent's been doing.
Meanwhile, the Badgers have been living and dying by the three.
Yeah, and it killed them against Purdue. They go 4 for 25 from the three-point line. They lose that game at home. They've got to find more ways to score in the lane. John Blackwell, at 6'3", 200 pounds, is a load getting to the basket. He's got to find ways to get himself to the free throw line. Nolan Winter has got to be a guy they can throw the ball down to and play out of him. If he gets doubled, kick it. If he's one-on-one, score the basketball. Then Austin Rapp, he can't just settle for threes. He's got to get in the lane.
About half of their shots are three-pointers on the season on the whole. Now, I don't want to say the game that you're watching is a game of runs, but you could recap it like this. Minnesota led 12-3. Then Iowa went on a 14-4 run, which Minnesota answered with a 12-0 run.
Caitlin Clark from the logo.
You know, life would be easier if I could do everything from the logo.
Allow me to assist.
Pickles. It worked. Buckets. Now that's a tomato. Sheboygan.
The answer is Sheboygan.
Good match. P-E-Z-O-L. Bottom row.
From the logo. State Farm with the assist.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield.
What was that?
No.
But you can go to SafeLight.com and get it fixed now and pay later.
Awesome.
SafeLight can come to you for free. Don't wait. Get it fixed now and pay later at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
5K fun run.
Say hi to Patty, celebrated social worker,
Who's coming in second?
self-appointed social chair, potluck, kickball, last call.
Sign up for Goat Yoga.
You name it, she's on it.
Jim!
And you have 47 emails to prove it. But her capacity to care is unmatched. You need Patty. Patty needs a retirement plan. Work with Principal so we can help you help Patty with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for her.
Good night, guys.
Let our expertise round out yours.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in? And put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Hello. Hey, shout out to you, Ma. I'm doing this for you.
The decision to extract them is up to you.
I'm not pushing no button.
Start scheming, boys. I need some goodies.
If you all want to hate me, that's fine.
You're playing a totally different game than we're playing in the wilderness.
Oh, my God, bro. Wake up.
Hold out for one more day.
We got fire. Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Extracted. Season premiere Monday, January 26th on Fox.
The Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium is where the Big Ten's fierce rivals join forces to take down their common foe. The rivalry still exists, but maybe that's what fuels such a powerful collaboration. Working together on cancer research to advance treatments and therapies to bring more options to patients who need them. Learn more at big10crc.org. Cancer is the one opponent that unites the entire Big Ten.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Reminder, Friday, Peach Bowl is happening. We have you covered all day long getting ready for Oregon and Indiana. Big Ten today, Peach Bowl pregame, Peach Bowl postgame, and then a big show when it's all done, wrapping everything up. Make sure you are with us all day Friday. Caden Tyson has 10 points, which is 10 more than Sturts, Fulgaris, Banks, and Maniau have combined. Amazing. Corey and Sean, second half next.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Please welcome Charles Woodson.
Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
If you think only books and toys get delivered next day, you've got another thing coming. Alro Steel will get a wide variety of metals to your doorstep next day or whenever you need them. It doesn't matter if you need 1 piece or 100 pieces. We will cut them, package them, and deliver them on time and to perfection. So all you have to do is use them. Get to know Alro, your single source for metals.
My mother told me.
Big at the Rams Start Something New sales event. With America's most powerful lineup of light-duty gas trucks, offering the legendary Hemi V8 and the largest touchscreen in its class, all backed by the strength of a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Get your year off to a strong start with a great deal at the Rams Start Something New sales event.
Lowe's knows tackling projects now means you can football Sunday.
We need a new fridge.
This one has craft ice on demand.
More ice than me?
4 kinds of ice, actually.
Gonna need a bigger bucket. Like this one?
Do you always have 2 bucket chains?
I do.
New year, same extra value meals. From breakfast to late night, make it a meal and save. Value is still on the menu, only at McDonald's.
Welcome back. Nice halftime show from the 2025 national champion University of Minnesota Gophers cheer squad. Enjoyed that here at the break as we are ready for the second half from the barn as the Gophers lead the Hawkeyes by 7. Back courtside, Corey Provis and Sean Morris back and forth first half. What was your takeaway from the first 20 minutes time?
Well, I really liked the way that Iowa was able to respond. When Bennett Sturts got that second foul, all the momentum clearly had shifted to Minnesota, but because of the play of guys like Isaiah Howard coming in there, they're able to kind of stem the tide. Minnesota, Langston Reynolds was outstanding in that first half in his own right with 10 points and a couple of assists and a steal, but this is a guy for Iowa that so much runs through him offensively, not just in terms of scoring in his own right, but distributing the basketball. But his teammates, especially Howard and Manuel, came in and gave them some nice effort plays to put them well within striking distance.
Season low for Sturts in a game scoring is 8 against Bucknell. It's Iowa basketball as we start the second half. Here's Combs on the drive, and the putback doesn't go from Banks. And Tyson clears. Good looks for the Hawkeyes. Isaac Osima got off to a great start. Langston Reynolds coming off a solid first half. Corner 3 from Osima.
Nice set. I think a better pass. That's a made 3 and an easier shot for Osima. It wasn't quite in the shooting pocket. He had to go down a little bit to get it, but an excellent sequence offensively for Minnesota.
Howard starting the second half. Reynolds holds his ground and a whistle inside and a foul called on Minnesota.
And here to start the second half, a couple possessions, they've moved Sturts off the basketball.
Ball was on Bobby Durkin. Holmes the miss and Tyson the rebound. Here's Reynolds, the step in the paint.
So he put Howard in backpedaling position. He attacked that inside foot and was able to finish with the offhand.
12 points for Reynolds. That leads all scores. Played all 40 minutes. One of 3 golfers that played all 40 against Northwestern on Saturday. Sturtz turns it over. There's Tyson. He'll drive on Koch and rejected. That was Howard with the block for the Hawkeyes. A little slow to his feet. And now joins his teammates in the front court. Sturtz off the glass. And McCollum wanted a whistle. And there's the first bucket for Sturtz.
Man, Howard has impressed me here tonight. He got them that dribble drive bucket to kind of get them going with Sturtz on the bench. And then how about the hustle play to block, which leads to the first basket on the other end for Sturtz.
4-point swing right there. Crocker Johnson spins once, spins twice. Good move.
Yeah, and Crocker Johnson doing a good job of being able to get back to that right shoulder and left hand. Howard took it away initially, but there wasn't a real active dig down, and Crocker Johnson just used some offensive patience and took advantage.
Bobby Durkin came over. He tried to tie up Sturtz. Instead, he's whistled for a foul. That's the second on Durkin. He thought he had that ball cleanly. Watch number 3.
Well, he might have a point.
Hey, Tyson defending Banks. Tyson has 2 fouls. Now Sturtz off the fing. Feeds Koch for 3. Hawkeyes now 2 out of 10 from the 3-point line here tonight. Tyson had 10 first-half points. Another great pass to Reynolds. And 1. And the largest Minnesota lead tonight is 11.
And Cora, remember in a similar situation, Tyson came with a dribble stop and shot the mid-range jump shot. Here, Iowa tries to recover. He plays with his head up. That allows the slip right there by Reynolds. Really nicely done on the 2-man game, and Combs just about a half a step late, but that was made possible because Tyson had shown the ability earlier in this ball game to use that rhythm dribble to go into a shot. Here he showed some other versatility.
Now Reynolds now 3 of 3 at the line. Holmes to foul his second. The Hawkeyes have yet to attempt a free throw tonight. Minneapolis, the barn, all you. Meanwhile, Durkin picks up his 3rd. 3 quick fouls on Durkin here in the second half.
Man, Howard just caught that ball, Corey, and ripped and went. There was no hesitation.
So Shitholster back in, the freshman from New Jersey. Sturtz off the fake. That lane opens up. He tried to throw it down, and there was a whistle and a foul. It'll be on Osima.
Nice shot fake by Sturtz. Yeah, I think Iowa may be getting their first couple of foul shots. That's a break.
And a rare miss for Sturtz at the line. And you talk about defensively, you maintain verticality if you're Isaac Osima, right?
Yeah.
Looked like he did. Three minutes gone by, and there's Howard, and he ties up Osima, and the jump ball will keep it in this end of the floor.
Man, I love the way this kid plays. He just does everything you need somebody to do to put your team in a chance to win a ball game. You know, he's not going to knock you off with, you know, 3-point shots or anything like that, but he's shown the willingness to get in there and do a lot of the dirty work and get his teams extra possessions.
6 players that joined Ben McCollum from Drake to Iowa City. Off the turnover, here's Howard catching in the paint, off the glass and in. A turnover leads to a bucket, and it's a 9-point game. Garris poked it free. And Reynolds has it. Back of the Spaniard down, and a reach and a foul.
And I think Fulgaris he had done his job until he reached. He'd done a very good job of walling up. But Isaiah Howard, this started with him tying up on the other end, gets active hands, and that's a difficult conversion with the larger player, Crocker Johnson, coming over to contest.
Foul on Fulgaris, second Hawkeye team foul. Tyson can't hit, and Howard the rebound.
Howard get the rebound, but a nice block out by Koch helped his effort.
Fulgaris, this is his game, and way off there. But he is a three-point weapon off the bench for Iowa, and missed everything there.
Yeah, that's a guy that shoots 47% from three. That's unusual.
Minnesota turns it over. As Osama was out of bounds, it'll be Iowa basketball when we come back. Second half here at the bar, Minnesota by 9.
Now more of the
Is this it?
One zip.
So they're all on your team?
Yeah, they're my financial plan.
Huh?
Who Thrivent helps me plan my finances for. Like my church, the Children's Hospital, and my son's college fund. And we're redoing the basement.
Plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love with Thrivent, where money means more.
Mobility was an asset of mine. We spread the ball around. That was my style. And I led the Big Ten in passing, led the Big Ten in total offense. And so as an African-American quarterback in the Big Ten, maybe I did blaze a few trails. But the NFL wasn't ready for that style of play at that time. And I think there was a thought that the African-Americans couldn't lead the team that way. But that was kind of one of the trademarks of the Big Ten. What we did in winning the Super Bowl with the Colts was exactly what we had done 30 years ago at Minnesota. It was a no-huddle offense. The quarterback was the conductor, and I loved it. I certainly thought about the historical side of it. It had 40 Super Bowls before, and I'm the first African-American head coach to accept this trophy like this. This is unbelievable. I'm Tony Dungy, Pro Football Hall of Famer and University of Minnesota graduate.
Iowa basketball down 9 early second half, and plenty of Iowa fans here in the Twin Cities. Huge alumni base here in town, and you've been impressed from the start with the play of Isaiah Howard.
Well, this first thing they're going to show you was a much-needed basket coming out of a dead ball situation, and Howard is a big reason that they've been able to stay within striking distance with the foul trouble they've had to suffer through with Bennett Sturtz. And it's not just been his ability to score, it's been his ability to set up teammates, and he has shown more than a willingness to stick his nose in and get his team extra possessions. And he's produced and surpassed his season scoring average when Iowa has needed him most.
And Howard, he was the one that came in early in the first half when Bennett Sturtz picked up his second foul. It was Howard who helped kind of end the run and get the Hawkeyes into the game in the first half. Here's Sturtz, his action picking up in the second half and 2 more.
And I really like what Iowa did there. They understood that Tyson has foul trouble in his own right. They isolate him on Sturtz. Sturtz able to turn the corner and take advantage.
Sturtz now with 5. Lead for Minnesota down to 7. Tyson getting around Mannion in traffic, challenged by Koch. Loose ball, Shitholster, the freshman, pulls it down. There's a block from Mannion again. Sturtz against Crocker Johnson. He's playing with 2 fouls. this will be an offensive foul. And Koch on the drive.
They're probably going to go and take a look at this to see if there was contact above the shoulders.
You could see the reaction from Tyson. There was certainly contact amongst the face and the jaw area as Koch on the drive. And that arm goes up, and that's right on the mouth of Tyson. It's the right call from Keith Kimball.
Yeah, so what they're taking a look at to see if this may be upgraded to some kind of flagrant, because it could fit the definition if they don't think that was a basketball play.
Previous call on the court is under review.
As the play is under review, and we'll step aside. The officials look this over. Right now, it's a common foul on Cooper Koch. Will it be upgraded to a flagrant? We'll find out when we come back.
Mixed nuts have finally leveled up. Meet Blue Diamond almonds and more. Almonds, cashews, and pistachios in 3 signature flavors. Taste that's undeniable. Freshness guaranteed. Blue Diamond almonds and more. The flavorful nut mix.
You're really buying a car online on AutoTrader?
Really?
Your search can really be that specific?
Really?
So all you need to do is drop in some info and you only see cars in budget. Really?
Really?
You can really buy the car totally online.
Really?
And really have it delivered by a dealership.
Really?
Pizza's here.
No, it's our new car.
Buy your car online on AutoTrader. Really?
Did you bring food too?
Really?
I'll give you my bike if you can prove you know your finances.
Sure.
How many subscriptions are you paying for right now?
I don't know, like 4?
Let's download Rocket Money and we'll see if you're right. Okay, it actually looks like you're paying for 15, which is costing you $290 a month.
What? No way. Where are you getting this information?
Rocket Money has all your expenses in one place, and it even helps you create a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about those subscriptions. You can cancel the ones you don't want right from the app, and it'll even try to get you a refund on some of them.
That's actually pretty helpful.
Download Rocket Money today.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival, because you know there's value in making space for your people. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Well, the officials took a look during the timeout, and what was called a common foul will stay a common foul despite that elbow clearly catching Tyson on his mouth.
Well, Nate, by rule, they had to go over and take a look at this. You know, it wasn't going to be a cylinder call. And so, fortunately for Iowa, it remains a common foul, and we'll play on here.
So the difference there, common foul on Koch. If that was a flagrant 1, it would have been 2 shots for Minnesota and the ball. So possession for the Gophers. The Hawkeyes with 3 team fouls, Minnesota 4. Crocker Johnson. Mannion comes over to help defensively. There's Tyson. Blocked again by Mannion on a foul. Foul will be on Mannion. It'll be his first.
I think if Mannion points rather than swings down, it may have been going the other way.
Mannion 3 blocks in this game tonight, and Tyson among the best in the conference in doing just that, getting to the foul line and making free throws. Coming up, women's basketball. Jazzy Davidson leads USC against Oregon. That's coming up next right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Tyson was so clutch. You were there in Evanston down the stretch as Minnesota overcame not 1 but 2 7-point deficits in that win in Evanston.
They went 22 of 26 from line cumulatively. Did the Golden Gophers, and both of these teams averaged 17 made free throws per ball game coming into tonight.
Combs forced that one. Here comes Reynolds. Fouled the ball, missed the layup. Just never seems set with the basketball. Sturtz.
Good strong show there by Crocker Johnson.
And Howard looked like he walked. He did. Turnover Iowa. That's the 10th Hawkeye turnover. That's what they average per game. Hawkeyes, they're forcing the opposition to 15 turnovers per game. Minnesota only 5 turnovers tonight. That's a big part of Iowa's game, too. Turning teams over and then turnovers into points. Iowa's averaging 21 points per game off turnovers. That leads the Big Ten. Whereas tonight, the Hawkeyes have just 6 points off the 5 turnovers. And this is a big part of Iowa's success this season in Ben McCollum's game.
Defensively, they've just been so stout, giving up right around 60 points per ball game coming into this evening.
Tyson the turnaround. Gophers have missed their last 5. Hawkeyes 3 turnovers over the last 2+ minutes. Sturtz against the freshman. One for Bennett Sturtz.
Yep. The freshman got caught on the switch, and Sturtz recognized it right away. The switch, understanding who's guarding you, and also would have been better off just kind of showing his hands and not giving a chance at a 3-point play because he was beaten. Sturtz got his shoulders behind him.
84% free throw shooter has missed his 2nd free throw tonight.
So that's a uncharacteristically lazy pass there. Fortunate for Minnesota, they came up with it.
And a shove as Reynolds, his momentum was taking him out of bounds and bailed out with a foul on Iowa. It's going to be on Mannion, his 2nd.
And the freshman, fortunate there. I'm sure someone is understanding that Shinholster did something you should never do. You never try to dribble a loose ball, man. Pick it up.
Minnesota playing without 2 starters, losing Chauncey Willis Jr. and Robert Viola for the season. Ropes in a big screen on Sturtz. He hit the deck. Crocker Johnson, corner 3. 3-point shot. It's not falling for either team tonight. Minnesota 3 out of 14. The Hawkeyes 2 out of 11. Can Howard change that? Way off. Air ball. There's Tyson. He knew that was off from the start.
He went right after it, but a good job by Iowa recognizing that. Sturtz was able to kind of get his hip into him as Tyson went to retrieve his own miss.
Tyson had 10 points at halftime, just 2 points here in the 2nd half. And Reynolds will be called for the foul as Sage set the screen. As the 2nd on Reynolds.
Yeah, that's the right call. Now, sometimes you'll see that be an offensive foul if the person setting the screen, in that case, Sage, doesn't come to a stop. But in that case, he did, and Reynolds just kind of blew him up.
Here's Osama up top for 3. Crocker Johnson with the rebound and a foul. Just a point of clarification a moment ago. We said that Reynolds was whistled for the foul a moment ago, but they have called the foul on Tyson, his 3rd.
Okay.
So the shove there, and now we see it. It's not Reynolds, it was Tyson shoving. Watch the shove here from Tyson. Yeah, there's the push there on Sage. So Tyson whistled for his 3rd.
That's kind of take your pick.
Crocker Johnson knocks down the free throw, his first trip to the line tonight. So Tyson stays in with those 3 fouls. The Gophers a perfect 6 out of 6 so far at the line. As you see the numbers on Jalen Crocker Johnson, he joined Minnesota with Nico Medved from Colorado State.
And out of necessity, Corey, he's had to play what folks at home might know as the 5. Yeah. Something he never had to really do at Colorado State. And boy, has he answered that call admirably.
Now Tyson comes out. Minnesota has won 4 straight. But the Hawkeyes have won 3 straight games here at the Barn.
And there's no zone look defensively by the Gophers to give Iowa a different look.
Good passing into the corner, setting up Sage for 3. The Hawkeyes attack the zone, and Sage buries the 3.
That may be the last time you see the zone for a while, because they just carved that up. They got the ball right in the gut of the defense, flipped it from side to side. The ball didn't stick. Trying to buy some time before the next media timeout, and we're not going to see probably too many more sequences of zone defense unless it's out of absolute necessity for Minnesota.
First made 3 this half for the Hawkeyes, and the 9th made all season for the freshman Tate Sage. Osima lost it. Turnover. Here come the Hawkeyes up the floor. Banks, Crocker, Johnson challenging, and no whistle. And now Reynolds got away with a shove here inside and scores, and a foul.
What? A sequence in this regard. That's a 4-point swing. That's 2 that Iowa doesn't get in transition. Minnesota responds with 2 of their own with a chance to add to it when we return to the bar.
Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to park.
Auto Owners thinks the more you protect, the more you should save.
Auto Owners pays what they owe without any hassle. That's simple human sense.
That's simple human sense.
That's simple human sense.
At DQ, we're all about and. Like our new limited-time crispy onion cheeseburger $7 meal deal with
Crispy onions.
And a fry for me.
And here's your drink.
And a sundae.
Try our new crispy onion cheeseburger $7 meal deal right now at DQ.
Check their new game day fit. Oh, snap. DirecTV got hot.
That's right. DirecTV is flexing with all those pro and college games at your fingertips. This ain't your dad's cable, son. It's Couture.
Okay, thank you so much. I was about to say that. It's Couture.
Whether you are running a complex manufacturing site, powering a city's changing energy and utility needs, or maintaining a large fleet of aircraft, IFS's advanced industrial AI orchestrates data and adds capabilities to your business so you can thrive and grow. IFS.ai, award-winning asset and service management software.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You handle chaos with composure because everything you do behind the scenes sets the stage for their big day. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Merriwa, the world's best hula hooper.
I know the best when I see it. 6 grams of protein, over 20 flavors, tons of fiber. Blue Diamond almonds might be the world's best snack. Almost as amazing as me.
The world's greatest snack.
Where's our car?
Call my agent.
I'm on it.
We're covered for this?
That's why you chose Auto Owners. We work together to get the right coverage. So when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered.
That's simple.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Corey, let's take a look at the last sequence which sent us to break. I like this no call. Look, you're entitled to go straight up. Looks like Crocker Johnson did there. Then on the other end, I think Minnesota got a little bit of a break right there by Reynolds, kind of displacing Sturtz. It currently stands as a 4-point swing, potentially a 5 if Reynolds is able to convert this foul shot.
And he can't do it. Langston Reynolds, 17 points. That ties his season high. Also at 17. And Minnesota's upset win here over then 22nd ranked Indiana. Minnesota tonight looking to knock off 19th ranked Iowa.
Ooh, man.
That was tipped by Reynolds as Sturtz was not on the same page there for a moment with Koch.
The other thing that hops out at you as you take a look at the stats, Iowa's a team that leads the conference in turnover margin at +5. Tonight, -5. So the Golden Gophers have been able to kind of flip that script on.
Banks knocks down the 3.
And a good delivery by Sturtz. You get the dribble drive, you get in the lane, you force the white jerseys to collapse, and then you put it right in the shooting pocket.
Banks, he shoots a high percentage, but the volume isn't there. He's now 6 out of 13 from the 3-point line this season. Osima spinning in traffic and a foul. Fouls on Sage, his first. So 18 fouls on Iowa. Minnesota with 6. Isaac Osima. Cherry, Minnesota native. Knocks down the first. So Kate Tyson, 3 fouls. For now, Shaw with the lead at 6 remains on the bench.
they may try to get down. You know, the next media timeout's coming at the 8-minute mark, so they can buy another 2.5 minutes. It's going to make their decision-making process a lot simpler.
Here's Koch in the paint, lost it, and it'll stay with Iowa. Minnesota, the coaching staff might hold up play just for a moment to see if they might challenge possession here. And Niko Medved is going to say to play on. Sturtz goes behind the back to Fulgaris. Sturtz has it back. Awkward angle and offensive foul. That'll be Minnesota basketball. And a 1-and-1, and Banks whistled for the foul, his second. It is a 1-and-1 now, 9 team fouls on the Hawkeyes, and Osama to the foul line as Howard returns for the Hawkeyes, and Tavion Banks comes out. Gophers as a team are 9 out of 10 at the line so far tonight. Osama is 2 for 2. Came in as a 79% free throw shooter.
Took a look at that graphic, Corey. That's a team in Iowa. They get a lot of their points from the foul line. 17 per ball game to be exact, only 1 tonight.
Fulgaris, boy, he passed up a shot. And the Hawkeyes turn it over. Durkin trailing for 3. Timeout, Hawkeyes.
Fulgaris was thinking, remember a few possessions ago, he shot an air ball. He turned down a shot he would usually take and make, and he retreated too deep into the lane. Durkin recognized that, is shot ready and knocks it down and sends Minnesota into that timeout situation with a tremendous amount of momentum. And again, I want to point out the fact this is a team in Iowa that has dominated the turnover margin throughout the course of this season, +5, and the resulting points off turnovers. Tonight, Minnesota owns that in addition to getting and converting more foul shots. Kind of in a nutshell, that's been the difference so far in the ballgame tonight.
Let's see, 12 turnovers, and the Gophers converting those 12 into 16 points. Here's a note, too, on Niko Medved, by the way. Niko Medved, 2-1, the Gophers so far in Big Ten play. He has a chance to go 3-1, so win 3 of your first 4 conference game in your debut season. The last time a Minnesota coach won 3 of your first 4 conference games in your debut season, you have to go back to 1971-72 when Bill Musselman began 4-0. And that's what what Niko Medved, Ben Johnson's successor, has a chance to do tonight. Not go 4-0, but win 3 of your first 4 conference games in your debut season. Now here's a look at the Big Ten. It's been so fun watching conference play. Michigan survived a scare tonight at Penn State, winning by 2, and Nebraska remains just an unbelievable story.
Yeah, Nebraska, much like Minnesota, just share the ball and spread the floor so well. For folks who haven't seen Michigan, look, they got a scare tonight. They got guys 7'3", 7 feet, and 6'10", and they can all run. I mean, it's almost not fair.
So 51-39. Gophers have the lead. It'll be Iowa basketball. Hawkeyes have 2 timeouts remaining. Langston Reynolds, 17 points, tying a season high. Tyson with 12, Osama with 8.
And I like what I saw off the ball, okay? you mentioned it's Iowa's basketball. Bennett Sturtz was talking to Voulgaris down there. And you could see him kind of put his arm around, look, we need you. If you get a shot like that next time, you got to let it fly.
And Ben McCollum did hesitate, asking him today at shoot-around who's made the biggest strides. He said, Voulgaris, by far. Wasn't with the team over the summer. While playing in Spain, Sturtz. Foul on Iowa. As Durkin was battling with Howard underneath.
Watch the bottom of your screen. Durkin goes to this, a little bit of a swim move.
A double bonus now the rest of the way for Minnesota as Howard picks up his third. And here is Bobby Durkin, 84% at the line, shooting 2. And the Gophers have their largest lead tonight as Tyson remains on the bench. Nico Medved and the Gophers extend the lead. Well, the last time Minnesota beat Iowa at home, there were no fans. It was Christmas Day 2020 during COVID. It was a 102-95 overtime win the last time the Gophers beat the Hawkeyes here. Sturtz in the paint and able to bury the jumper.
I mean, he scored, but he had to work for that. I mean, he had to try to get by Reynolds after a pretty good stunt by Grove to kind of force him out. And even though he made that, that was a tough conversion by Bennett Sturtz.
To 9 points. Hawkeyes do not have a player yet into double figures. Crocker Johnson backing down Koch with the left hand. And he'll shoot 2.
And it's a small thing, but an important thing. Okay, Crocker Johnson catches it. He wants to get to that right shoulder and left hand, but he doesn't do it immediately. Watch it. He kind of waits for the traffic to clear. He sees the double team isn't coming. Sturtz can't come down there aggressively because of the foul trouble, and Crocker Johnson just able to get in there and will shoot a couple. But if he makes that move too quickly, these foul shots are not going to be available to him.
76% at the line. First time he has missed tonight. Hit his prior 2. See, the Hawkeyes have attempted only 3 free throws all game. Now the Hawkeyes committing fouls, that's not anything new. Iowa's a team, they commit around 18 fouls per game, third most of any Big Ten team. There's Sturtz. Off the heel, offensive rebound to Banks. See if it's going to be Reynolds or Grove. That'll put Iowa to the foul line, 17th foul.
And that was a good read by Banks because Minnesota was going to jump that dribble handoff. If he tries to hand off to Sturtz, Minnesota was all over that, almost like an RPO. He kind of pulls it back in and gets a foul.
Second foul on Reynolds, 1-1 here for Tavion Banks. 74% at the line. And knocks down the first. Friday, the Gophers are right back here as they continue Big Ten play as they take on USC. The action tips off at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. The Trojans already in town. Played at Michigan, Michigan State last night and are in the Twin Cities as we speak in advance of Friday's game here at the Barn. Reynolds trying to get around Banks, and he does. Season high 19 points for Langston Reynolds. Sturtz sets up Sage from the corner, no. And Grove with the rebound. Hawkeyes is 4 of 17 from the three-point line here tonight. Backdoor cutting. Durkin. Crocker Johnson. And Grove rips the rebound down. Sets up Crocker Johnson again.
And you mentioned Iowa struggling from behind the arc. This is a team who are in the Hawkeyes came in shooting 38% from behind the arc.
Gophers haven't been great in that department either tonight. They're 4 out of 19 as Sturtz is fouled. And that will take us to a break with 7:29 to go. Hawkeyes and Gophers meeting 212 here tonight. And some Minnesota greats on display here at the barn. The Gophers looking for the upset, have the lead here in Minneapolis.
This is Diane. Hi, I just received my new Discover card. It says cash back on every purchase. What's cash back?
It's new. Buy what you need, earn a little extra back.
Even on walkie-talkies, rope, and a baseball bat?
You betcha.
10 to 15 pumpkins? That works.
Absolutely.
How about flowers?
What he meant to say was flamethrower.
A what?
The Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium is where the Big Ten's fierce rivals join forces to take down their common foe. The rivalry still exists, but maybe that's what fuels such a powerful collaboration. Working together on cancer research to advance treatments and therapies to bring more options to patients who need them. Learn more at big10crc.org. Cancer is the one opponent that unites the entire Big Ten.
All right, I'm gonna change your world. That's gonna be interesting. Let's go. I love to root for great. Yeah. I want to watch history. Ooh. You want to root for the underdog. Good luck with that. In sports, people hate what they fear. They hate the Cowboys. They hate LeBron. I've got a lot of haters. Truth hurts sometimes. I'm controversial when I don't even mean to be. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right. You'll still argue with me. This is The Herd.
Nico Medved and the Gophers with a 13-point lead back home where it all began. The Minneapolis native, and what a job he's doing. It's a thin team, a new team, and has a chance for another Big Ten upset win tonight.
Has had to kind of piece things together on the fly. They've had to really slow the pace with which they they want to play because they just don't have the numbers. Really playing only 7 guys, you have to kind of mix and match things as to what you want to do. That guy coming with them, Jalen Crocker Johnson, I think was huge because he brought not just his production, but kind of an idea about how things should be done for Coach Medved, and they've been able to fill in and find guys that fit how they want to play, spreading the floor, shooting the ball, and sharing it. So far, especially in conference play, it has paid dividends.
Bennett Sturtz splits 2 free throws, and that's been rare. 0 of 5 from 3. He's 2 of 5 at the foul line. And Sturtz, though, becomes the first Hawkeye to double figures tonight. He has 10. Reynolds has a season-high 19. And banks the rebound. This is 5th rebound to go with 5 points. Iowa chance to bring it into single digits. This trip down the floor. Sturtz, the late lead. I think Banks was ready for that pass.
Way too congested in there.
13th Iowa turnover.
Iowa now usually +5 in turnover margin. Tonight, -7.
Now it looks like Minnesota is really trying to slow this game down.
Oh, there's the back door.
Backdoor is Tyson.
Boy, if you lose defensive eye or positioning defensive position for just a split second, almost assuredly Minnesota will recognize and take advantage.
Brendan Austin on the floor right now for the Hawkeyes. This is Sturtz, and he's fouled by Osima, shooting 3.
See right here, a little bit of a screen. They thought he was going to, that's a great read by Tyson, because Iowa thought he was going to fan out to the corner. He saw what Iowa was trying to take away, so he cut off his route to the corner and then came off shoulder to shoulder. That resulted in a layup.
It's the foul on Sturtz by Osima. Talking with Bennett Sturtz today, he's averaging almost 36 minutes per game. And I said, well, what's your secret? What's your recipe? He said, after the game, cherry juice. I drink cherry juice. So good for recovery, good to avoid gout. So he's off to a nice start this year, right? Cherry juice.
Yeah, it'll serve him well later in life, I guess. Yeah. Hey, whatever it takes.
Are you big on the cherry juice post game?
No.
Other juice?
I'm not even sure if it was invented yet.
We'll stay with the Gophers in 6 minutes to go. Durkin back in, and Grayson Grove comes out.
Oh, nice job by Tyson. That was pretty. Now, they don't convert, but he broke off his route to the corner and then came with a little pin down on Sturtz.
Hawkeyes with the ball, down 11 and a foul. And this is awesome, but that's going to be his 4th.
And he just ran right through Bennett Sturtz.
That's the 10th team foul now on the Gophers, so 2 the rest of the way for the Hawkeyes. So Iowa trying to get back in this game at the foul line. Good shooter, and the clock isn't moving. Second-half points for Bennett Sturtz. Did not score in the first half. As Osama comes out with 4 fouls, and Kai Shinholster returns. You see the second-half numbers for Sturtz.
Yeah, he was never able to get any kind of rhythm in the first 20 minutes after those 2 quick fouls.
So the lead down to 9. We approach the 5:30 mark in this ball game.
Good job by Howard. He moved Crocker Johnson all the way up the lane. That steal was made possible because Isaiah Howard took Crocker Johnson up the lane.
Howard off the glass. No. Crocker Johnson the rebound. Missed opportunity for the Hawkeyes. Under 5 to play. Reynolds high off the glass, no, and a foul. It's on Cooper Koch, his 3rd. And back to the foul line, Langston Reynolds.
And he was able to get all the way. Now you saw Kay Tyson coming into your picture late, but he was a big reason that driving angle was available for Reynolds. He's in that near corner. Iowa understands he's a threat out there, so they want to hug him maybe for a half a count too long, and that allowed Reynolds to turn the corner.
Without Chauncey Willis Jr., Langston Reynolds, he's taken on more point guard responsibilities, as has Isaac Osama. In fact, Langston speaking to reporters here yesterday saying that we pretty much have to split it. We know we're going to play the whole game outside of foul trouble. If Isaac has to bring the ball up the floor for 20 minutes, I have to do it for 20 minutes, so be it.
You got a stoppage in play here. Combs, it looks like, has a little blood on his elbow. I think he's got a little blood on his elbow, and I saw that. I never even went to medical school. Corey, can you believe that?
Well, you are Dr. Morris.
Yeah.
So, saw that pick up, and Combs will have his arm wrapped up. So Iowa basketball under 5 to play here at the Barn. Again, still to come, women's basketball here on the Big Ten Network. Jazzy Davison leads USC against Oregon. That's coming up next right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Women's basketball, USC and Oregon. Sturtz.
Ooh, Crocker Johnson is locked in. His eyes never left the chest of Sturtz.
Combs against Shinholster, and one! Hawkeyes fighting back. 3-point play upcoming here for Cale Combs.
Iowa just keeps hanging around. Nice job of ripping through. And again by Combs, understanding you have a freshman isolated, take him right to the rim and take your chances.
Shinholster playing right now with Osama on the bench with 4 fouls. And the free throw is now falling here for the Hawkeyes. It's an 8-1 Iowa run. 7-point game. Now this was the spot Minnesota was in. Down 7. This point of the game against Northwestern, came back to win.
Nice double
team,
down.
yeah.
Man, Howard has been good.
Brandon Hawson. Right now, man-to-man against Reynolds. 5 to shoot. Down to 4. Tyson slashing, going up, lost it, and a foul.
And that's unfortunate for Iowa in this regard. It's one of the rare times you're not going to see really proper spacing by Minnesota. What I mean by that is Tyson dribbled it in there. Crocker Johnson was already there. So what he did is he already had the defender in there. Tyson meant a bit better served to maybe whip it off to the corner, but he draws the foul instead. Usually you do not see too many white jerseys in that constricted an area.
Costly miss there from Tyson on the front end. Hawson the foul, his first.
Well, and Hawson can heat it up from deep. I mean, there's really no question why that guy's in there. He's about a 39% shooter from behind the arc. So it gives Minnesota a little something different to think about here on the defensive end.
Did not play at all against UCLA. Some big minutes here for Hawson. In the second half right now, it starts, found some space, can't hit the shot. Howard the putback. Six-point game, 3:48 to go. The 10th offensive rebound for the Hawkeyes.
And this is a team in Iowa. There's been a lot of statistical anomalies. They're last in the conference in offensive rebounding, and they're toward the top in turnover margin, but those things have been flipped here today.
Travel, a turnover, Minnesota. It'll be Hawkeyes basketball when we come back. So the Gophers, no made field goals last 3+ minutes. Iowa's on a run, and we've got a game. 3:32 to go at the Barn. Big Ten basketball. Minnesota and Iowa, don't move.
My mother told me.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match along. Get a fluffy sausage egg biscuit, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. For a limited time, mix and match any 2 for just $5.
That means you can football Sunday.
You ready?
It's Saturday.
Dave's ready. We flying, Dave. Call!
Let's go.
Plenty of runtime, and it's even got turbo mode.
That's what they called me in college.
I bet they did.
Minnesota hasn't lost at home all year. Iowa hasn't won on the road all year. Michael and Rayfeld Davis here, and we got a 2-possession ball game.
It's winning time right now. Cade Tyson, it's time for you to step up, do what you have to do to win your team the game. And if I'm the Hawkeyes, I'm getting that basketball to Bennett Sturts, give him a ball screen, get out the way, you let the young fella cook.
Minnesota set 7 points away from Sean Morris's favorite number. When this game is done, Jazzy Davison, the superstar freshman in USC Oregon, is next. Corey?
I'm Mike Rayfeld. Guys, thank you. 6-point game. Minnesota had a 14-point lead at the 6:36 mark. Sean is down to 6 with 3:32 to go.
Iowa has just found a way to get enough defensive stops. I think you're starting to see a little bit of tentative play on the offensive end by Minnesota. You know, the cuts haven't been as sharp as they were maybe in the first 25 minutes of this ball game. And Iowa's also figured out, look, there's a reason it's 40 minutes. They were in the bonus, and they've been able to drive and attack off the bounce, and they've been able to get to the foul line, and most importantly, from Iowa's perspective, cut into that lead with the clock stopped.
5 for the Hawkeyes on the floor. Howard, Combs, Sturts, Koch, and Hawson. Isaac Osama back on the floor for the Gophers with 4 fouls. He picks up Combs. And now Combs getting around defenders, and well designed by Ben McCollum out of the timeout.
And a little bit of rub screen by Hassan made that possible. He came from the baseline and got just enough of the defender to take him out.
Big trip right now for the Gophers. Trying to stop this Iowa momentum.
And Tyson needed to be careful there with that inside arm.
A 12-2 Hawkeye run. 7 to shoot for Durkin.
Good post up.
Reynolds steps into paint off the glass. Yes.
Well, really well done by Reynolds. He showed strong, Corey. Duck in, the rip. Then he was able to use that bounce to get the proper angle to use the backboard.
Starts, crosses over. Tyson, what a shot! Here he comes. Bennett Starts coming to life here in the second half. It's a one-possession game.
And Corey, whether it's that made shot that gets him within 3 or when he was struggling in the first half, his expression has not changed.
For Sturts. Tyson in traffic, stripped, and a foul.
Well, that was a dangerous pass because it was leading Tyson right into trouble. Pretty good rotation over by Hassan. There's the duck in, that little rip, jump stop, able to get to the window and use that offhand. And then watch this crossover. Gets him just enough room, bottom of the well for Sturts, who does that 43% of the time for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
There's the foul a moment ago on Hassan.
And he got him. He was pretty close. If he comes with that other hand and maybe goes after it exclusively with 2, it might have been a tie-up.
Minnesota has missed some free throws here down the stretch. Under 2 to play. Combs in the paint. Blocked by Crocker Johnson. A whistle, jump ball, Iowa basketball.
Pretty good job of blocking here. And it'll be Iowa basketball. And Corey, remember, there have been a couple possessions earlier in the ball game where the guy at the bottom of your screen, Isaiah Howard, went in and dug out a loose ball. And we talked about flipping the possession arrow. Yeah. This may be a time in the ball game where those earlier plays come to fruition.
Gophers call a timeout. Minnesota 2 remaining. Hawkeyes 2 remaining timeouts. Both teams in the double bonus. Take a look at our game summary here. Minnesota led by 7 at halftime, led by as many as 14 here in the second half. Bennett Sturts, 18 points, all in the second half. Cale Combs at 14. Langston Reynolds has been great. Season high 22 points. Free throws have picked up for both teams here in the second half. Hawkeyes basketball out of the timeout. Boston fires for 3, and it goes! And it's a one-point game.
That's why you're in there, young man.
So the jump ball, the Hawkeyes take advantage, and now Minnesota turns it over.
Nice look. They faked the lob to Hassan, and then Hassan kind of got lost in the shuffle and then was able to step into an unobstructed 3.
Last Iowa lead was 20-18. Cottage off the fake against Crocker Johnson. Iowa takes the lead. Timeout. Hawkeyes, 1:13 to go, and Iowa stormed all the way back here in the second half.
Nice little shot fake here by Koch, able to turn the corner and isolate on Crocker Johnson, and the momentum, and at this point the enthusiasm has all swung to the black and gold.
Ben McCollum, before tonight, had never been to the barn before. Player, assistant coach, you name it. And the Hawkeyes on a 20-5 run. A 1-point lead. Minnesota basketball. Hawkeyes, 1 remaining timeout. Gophers have 2. Both teams in the double bonus. Where does Minnesota now go offensively here with 1:13 to play?
You're in the double bonus, to your point, Corey, and what has worked for them for periods of time when they've needed a basket, it's been breaking off a route and getting a post up from either Crocker Johnson or Langston Reynolds, who has the ball in his hands. And right now, Isaiah Howard giving up some size to Crocker Johnson if they choose to take advantage down in the paint.
Crocker Johnson for 3, and the Gophers answer right back.
Man, that took some guts. That took some moxie.
Boston off the fake. Got it back to Answer. No! Rebound loose. Crocker Johnson trying to pull it away. Still loose. Minnesota basketball. Under 40 seconds to play. A whistle and a foul called on Iowa. Foul is on Hawson, his 3rd.
Jalen Crocker Johnson, who came over with Nico Medved from Colorado State. We thought he'd get the ball. I didn't think it would necessarily be for a 3, but he caught it, and he got his feet underneath him. That little rhythm crow hop allowed him to catch the ball, get his feet underneath him, and shoot that thing with confidence.
Crocker Johnson missed his first 4 3-point attempts tonight before that, and now Bobby Durkin a chance to make this a 4-point game. He does.
And if you're Iowa, look, there's no need to start hoisting 3s, okay? This is still a 2-possession game, no matter how you slice it. You're in the double bonus. You can get a quick hitter and then force Minnesota to make a decision how they want to defend you. There's still plenty of time if you're looking at it from Iowa's perspective.
Gophers take their last timeout. Our game reset. Possession arrow favors Minnesota.
Man, this has been an entertaining game.
Big Ten basketball. Always great to see. And rivalry renewed tonight. You include the new Big Ten teams. Oregon and Washington, they played 317 times. UCLA, USC, 264 times. Indiana, Purdue, 221. Minnesota, Wisconsin, 214. And then you have this one. Minnesota, Iowa meeting for the 212th time in a series that began in 1902, resuming tonight. In terms of Iowa getting maybe a quick 2, the guy that's throwing the ball in right now, he's been the one that's been driving. Cale Combs. Keep an eye on him. Right now it Sturts.
And Minnesota, a little bit of a zone look here.
Good look for Koch. Can't hit. Good look. Tied up inside. Jump ball. Minnesota basketball. Iowa got a good look.
A really good look.
Hawkeyes now will go for the steal. If not, they'll foul.
And even though, you know, Reynolds has been your primary ball handler, if you're Iowa, you may want to try to funnel him so he catches it, because statistically on the year, he has not been a very good foul shooter.
Great point. 50% at the line statistically, but much better lately. Minnesota 1 timeout. Durkin near the 5 count. Just got it in time, and Crocker Johnson is fouled. Boy, Durkin came also close to a 5-second violation on that inbounds pass.
Oh, I mean, if you could read somebody's thoughts, he's like, hey, help a brother out down here. Come, somebody come and get this. And it was
Miles on Howard, his fourth.
And it was really well designed by Minnesota in this regard. We talked about Reynolds and his struggles with the foul line. They sent him along the baseline and then cleared him out to eliminate the opportunity for Iowa to maybe give the foul.
Gophers have now missed 6 free throws here in the second half.
Been a problem for them all year, Corey. We've talked about it. 69% as a squad, last in the Big Ten in that area.
Misses both. Howard the rebound. Here's Sturts up top for 3. Got it! 1-point game. 16.7 to play.
Yeah, Osman had to go get that.
So 2 missed free throws from Crocker Johnson. The Hawkeyes answer with a 3 from Sturts, who's up to 21 points. And now Osima at the line shooting 2.
Off the second miss, you kick ahead, and this ball was not going to leave the hands of Bennett Sturts, and that's why.
Review is checking for actual time on the game clock.
So a game clock stoppage here from our Big Ten officiating crew. Right now, 15.5 to play.
Pretty good guy to have on the line if you're looking at it from Minnesota's standpoint. Osima, 79% on the year coming into tonight.
Is he kind of being iced right now, though?
Yeah, I mean,
stoppage in play.
Well, remember in the first half, there was a similar situation with the shot clock violation, which kind of gave Iowa a chance to get their legs under them. I understand why they're looking at this. They want to get the clock right. But if you're Osima,
after further review, 16.2 seconds on the game clock.
And really, you get a free timeout too. Both teams 16.2 as they put a few more seconds on the clock, but a free timeout for both teams. First, Osima will be at the line shooting 2. He's 4 of 4 at the line tonight.
And a reminder, this is the double bonus, so he has 2.
Point game. Does.
Little token pressure here by Reynolds. Just trying to force Sturts to maybe change directions a couple times.
For the tie. No good. Maniau rebound. Koch. Hassan got it off in the corner. In and out. Maniau rebound. It starts with time. Got it off for the tie. And that's the ball game. And Minnesota hangs on.
Wow, what a sequence. And even though it doesn't come to fruition for Iowa, how about the job by Maniau on that last possession for the Hawkeyes? Man, was this a lot of fun.
The Gophers upset another Big Ten team at the barn last month. It was 22nd ranked Indiana. Tonight, down goes number 19 Iowa as Nico Medved. And the Gophers improved to 3-1 in Big Ten play, knocking off the Hawkeyes 70-67 on a memorable night in the Twin Cities. Boy, the Hawkeyes had some great looks. Well, Sturts, Hassan, good shooters, great shooters. There was number 1. Credit Cam Maniau for keeping possessions alive. Hassan, that rattled out. And still time for Sturts, the All-American, off the fake. Could not hit. And Minnesota knocks off the Hawkeyes 70-67. Big Ten basketball, it is a beautiful thing. Gophers 3-1 in league play. Iowa now 2-2. Iowa heads home to take on Illinois on Sunday. Minnesota hosts USC on Friday. Sean Morris and our great crew, Corey Provis saying so long and good night from Minneapolis. Minnesota knocks off the Hawkeyes 70-67. So long from Williams Arena. Thanks for watching Big Ten basketball.